celebration of World Mental Health Day, we extend a warm invitation to you for an enlightening session with our esteemed psychotherapist, Dr. Brenda V. Fortune. Join us as she delves into the essential query: how can I create a growth mindset to impact my emotions and improve my life and relationship? This webinar is brought to you by Emotional Reset Center in partnership with Cognitio Plus, Bayan Academy, Startup Village, Civica, Northern Buchanan State College, and PM Consulting. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Dr. Brenda V. Fortune.
Okay, so module that we're going to talk about today has to do with neuroplasticity, and also has to do with our with our growth mindset. How can I create a growth mindset to impact my emotions and improve my life and relationships? Neuroplasticity and the growth mindset. So how many of you often think about what you are thinking about? Probably not too many of you do, right? Thoughts do get processed in our brains at a rate of get this, 50,000 thoughts a day. Some researchers have put it at 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thinking. So isn't it interesting that we assign emotions to our thoughts also? Kasi meron tayong happy thoughts, meron tayong sad thoughts, angry thoughts, hopeful thoughts. So parang yung mga thoughts natin may emotion. So that's probably because we know instinctively that by changing the way we think, we can also change the way that we feel. And by changing the way that we feel, we can also change our behavior. Okay? So I think instinctive sa atin yan, although we're not, might be aware. So put in other words, you can change the way that you feel by changing the way that you think. So this concept is central to cognitive behavioral therapy. And if you can see there, the components, the thought, emotion, behavior connection. Umpisa sa thoughts mo yan. What you're thinking will impact your emotion or what you feel. And then what you feel will impact, yes, CBT therapy, and then behavior, what you do. So as you can see, the components influence one another with thoughts initiating the action on both ends. So when a client comes to my office presenting depression or anxiety symptoms, one of the first things that I ask them to do is to examine their thought life. What is their thought life? And then we move from here. Ano bang iniisip nila? So more than likely, may mga sagot na nila ay mga irrational thoughts like, I cannot do anything right. I am worthless. Everything bad happens to me. I am unworthy. I have to be perfect. Or else no one would love me. Yung mga ganun ba na mga pag-iisip, which we will find out later are examples of a fixed mindset. So when they start to think this way, then they start to feel angry and sad. Then this emotion could push them to behaviors that lead to some negative outcome. Okay, so that's the behavior part of the cycle. When a client engages in this kind of, self-talk, they get themselves stuck in the thought, emotion, behavior cycle. So part of my job is to help them get unstuck from the vicious cycle and begin to see the world in more hopeful eyes. So what is the definition of mental health? Well, mental health is committing to the truth, okay? Committing to truth at all costs. Committing to reality at all costs. When you have become aware of the truth, then you are no longer scared to face it and your healing process begins. So, ang question ngayon is it possible to change the course of your thinking? Pwede bang mabago yung pathway ng pag-iisip mo? The short answer is yes. There is a phenomenon called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to form and reorganize synaptic connections, especially in response to learning or experience. So neuroplasticity is widely used in the education field, especially in the area of learning, information, and skills. But we have found that it is also very useful in counseling psychology when it comes to helping clients change their mindsets. Okay, here is an example. So a client comes to me with a mindset that he is a failure, right? Everything he touches turns to crap, according to him. So this thought about himself took seed in his mind one day until it took root and it became a belief. So now every time he tries something that he doesn't succeed in, he tells himself, I knew it. Alam ko, I'm a failure. Wala akong magawang tama. So then he develops what we call confirmation bias. This is a good term. Confirmation bias is the tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms or supports one's prior beliefs or values. Ibig sabihin, as our example goes, he now has a bias against himself and he is convinced that he is right. He will start to collect evidence to support that he is a failure. Okay? What he's doing actually is training his brain to support the idea that he is indeed a failure. Ang mangyayari niyan, then he will create a rut in his brain. He's actually training his brain to travel the same pathway over and over and over again, creating a rut that he cannot, that would be very hard for him to get out of. So now he's convinced that he's a failure, yung mindset niya, ganun na, and he becomes depressed. He always fails anyway, so he's not going to try anymore. He feels worthless. He feels useless. He goes deeper into depression, ganun na. So confirmation bias can be the result. So the way that you feel depends on how you interpret or choose to interpret a situation. So there it is, the word again, choose. You can actually choose your response, like Dr. Bryce was saying earlier. You can choose your response to a situation or any circumstance in your life. How you begin to feel about an event will depend on the meaning that you assign to the event. Ano bang ibig niyang sabihin? Okay, so if a tragedy befalls you, and then you start to say, you can say to yourself, you can have the mindset of oh, God is punishing me. Okay, that is the meaning of the event to you. Or you can say to yourself, God is teaching me a lesson. So you can assign meaning to what's happening to you and change your mindset about it. So what is mindset? Ano ibig sabihin ng mindset? Well, mindset, the assumptions, beliefs, notions, or attitudes that directly impact the way you see the world and how you relate to it. So meron di ba yung rose-colored glasses? As sinasabi na, you see the world through rose-colored glasses or dark-colored glasses. Depende sa inyo yan. And also mindset can be culturally bound. For example, sa Pilipinas, di ba, we have this notion of bahala na. Bahala na, anong mangyari. Okay, bahala na si Batman. Or nandyan na yan. Sinasabi natin, nandyan na yan. Everything happens to a reason. Life is too hard. Those are all kinds of mindset. But I'm here to tell you that you are what you think. You are what you think. All right. So why is mindset important to your emotional fitness? Why is it important for your emotional fitness? Well, number one reason is that it keeps you aware, focused, motivated, and totally oriented to every aspect of your life. Yung mindset mo will serve as a guide. Okay? And then the second reason is it gives you the ability to choose wise and appropriate responses to every and any situation in your life. Depende sa mindset mo yan, how you orient yourself. Number three, mindset gives you the courage to embrace negative experiences and fully enjoy the positive ones. Kasi meron kang yung mental health mo okay, you are always grounded on in reality. So, and then the other one is mindset gives you the courage to embrace negative experiences. And I already said that. Well, mindset gives you the power to be who you need to be by creating your own habits and thoughts and managing your emotions. There you go again. You create your own habits, you create your own thoughts, and manage your own emotions. So basically, mindset is how you orient yourself. Where are you facing? Where do you face? Where are you facing? Okay. And then when you orient yourself that way, then you know where you're going. So fixed mindset. Let's talk about the two kinds of mindsets. We have the fixed mindset, yun, natutulog na mindset. Fixed, wala ka nang mabago eh. Ganun na yun eh. Yun na yun eh. Wala ka nang mabago. And then the growth mindset, which is going, oh, everything that I see is an opportunity for growth. There's something to be learned here. There's a lesson to learn. Okay, that is the growth mindset. So let's find out kung anong klaseng mindset ang meron tayo. Okay? So let's have this one. Fixed mindset or the growth mindset. Fixed mindset is you focus on consistency. Like, yun na yun. Yun na yung dating gawin. Ganun na yun. Hindi na mababago yun. But for growth mindset is on continuous growth. While you are alive, you continue to live. If you're not growing anymore, then you start to die. Okay, fixed mindset also takes difficult situations as a challenge. It's so challenging. Itong sitwasyon na ito, ang hirap-hirap na sitwasyon natin. But then the growth mindset says, I'm going to take this difficult situation and turn it around and make it into a growth opportunity. What can I learn from this? Like ngayon, we're in the middle of pandemic. We learned a lot. If you have a growth mindset, you will see that in a lot of ways, the pandemic has been a blessing to some of us. Put families closer together. We have more free time. We were able to tend to our gardens, stuff like that, clean our closets and everything. It's an opportunity for growth. Okay, fixed mindset. Often compare ourselves to others and want to look smart. So it's pretty superficial, right? Like, I want to appear perfect for everybody. But a growth mindset a person with a growth mindset embraces their weaknesses and go, okay, yeah, I need to improve in that area. Sabi nila. Okay, so what else? Okay, fixed mindset. They believe talent and intelligence is fixed. Na hindi mo na mababago. Sabi mo na, oh, matanda na ako, hindi na ako pwedeng mag-aral. I don't want to learn anymore. But growth mindset learns from criticism and feedback. So they have enough self-esteem and ego strength to be able to get to accept constructive criticism. And then fixed mindset, they give up easily. Believes talent, growth mindset believes talent and intelligence can be developed through effort. Okay, perseverance. Sige lang, do it until you get it. Fixed mindset feels threatened by other people's success. Again, embrace their weaknesses on the other side. Feel threatened by others' success, find inspiration in others' success. Okay, I think that's what it is. Feel threatened by others' success, but find inspiration in others' success. There you go. So that's the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So looking at that, anong mindset ang meron kayo ngayon? If you tend to be on the fixed mindset side, take heart, because neuroplasticity is going to help you form different pathways in your brain so that you're thinking more in the growth, the way of growth. Okay, so let me give you some examples of fixed versus growth mindset statements. Okay, life is too hard. Ang hirap-hirap naman ng buhay natin. Walang pagbabago. But then you can say, actually, life is good. There's a lot of things that are going well. And growth mindset is more than positive thinking. It's actually looking at all of your circumstances, not just trying to convince yourself of being unreasonably optimistic, but actually it's based on reality too, because there's a lot of things that are good in our lives. So I can't do anything right. Okay, this is quite common, right? But you can say to yourself, I do a lot of things well, right? If you look at yourself, marami kang abilities that are not found in other people. Another one is, I have bad memory. I hear this a lot. I have bad memory. Okay. What about a growth mindset? I can improve. I can improve my memory. There's a lot of things I can do to improve my memory. Okay, nobody likes me. And also to say to yourself, growth mindset, I have qualities that people admire. Okay, so this is my quote for the day. Where you set your mind to is where you go. Where you set your mind to is where you go. You orient yourself. So how do you train yourself to have a growth mindset then? Okay, here are a few ideas. You can train your brain to have a different mindset, to choose a better, a more life-giving pathway and a different way of living. Here are a few ideas. Number one is mindfulness. Okay, mindfulness. Think about what you are thinking about. Examine them without fear or judgment. What are you thinking about most of the time? What fills up your mental space? Number two is awareness of your internal dialogue. What do you say to yourself about yourself? Would you talk to a friend the way that you are talking to yourself? Probably not. So be your best friend, okay? Be aware of your internal dialogue. Number three that could change your mindset is gratefulness. Gratefulness. You grow what you focus on. Kung ano yung tinututukan mo, yun ang lalago. So being grateful, counting your blessings, counting your blessings. Number four is willingness. Sit and engage with what you are currently experiencing, even though you might not like the emotion. This is when you say, okay, I won't push back anymore. I won't resist. I will just be, have a relationship with your emotions, a healthy one, and drop the struggle, say hello to it, and let it keep you company for a while. The willingness to change is very important. And then the last one is creating a different script. And we are going to have an exercise later on about that. What is the narrative that you're following for your life? Ano ba yung script na sinusunod mo sa iyong buhay? What kind are you telling yourself? Lies? Or is your script written by somebody else? You're following somebody else's script? Is your script full of shoulds and must or could have? So I could have done that. Sana ginawa ko yun. Sayang yun. How is it working for you if you're doing that? When you create a different script, you visualize who you want to be, not just what you want to do. There's a difference between that. And then practice, practice, practice. So there you go. Mindfulness, awareness, gratefulness, willingness, and creating a different script. Those are some of the ways that you can change your mindset. So emotion is a habit that you can change or redirect. It is a habit that you can change or redirect. Don't know if you've heard, I'm going to end here, heard of Tony Robbins. He has a very practical way to help him stay in the growth mindset every day. This is what he does. He calls it priming. Oh, yes, you know it. He calls it priming. His daily ritual to prime your brain. And it's his rule of three. See, Tony Robbins. And he has a very interesting story. Pero he does this on a daily basis, at least 10 minutes a day before he starts everything in his life. So the first thing he does is he breathes. Breathing, yeah? You breathe. And he does this. While he's breathing, he does the priming thing. He breathes really, really vigorously. And then after that, he thinks of three things that he's grateful about. Remember, your gratitude changes your emotion. Three things that he is grateful about. Okay? And then after that, he prays for his family and his friends, because praying for his family and friends, he says, takes the focus off of him. So, hindi lang nakafocus yung ano niya sa sarili niya, but other people. And then the last thing that he does is he envisions three things that he sees are already accomplished for the day. Because anticipation of success is a motivator for you. Para nakikita mo na, oh, nagawa na yun, and I can celebrate it right now. So those are the things that he does. He breathes. He thinks of three things that he's grateful about. He prays for his family and friends, and then he envisions three things that he already accomplished for the day. So my closing thought is here. Weeds grow automatically, right? In damo, grows automatically. Flowers need tending. One is easier to do than the other. One can invade and take over. The other will bring joy and beauty. And you have the choice to bring joy and beauty in your life. And I encourage you to choose wisely. Create the life you want by recreating your mind. Thank you so much.